Jake Paul just got knocked out by Anthony Joshua. Last night in Miami, everyone got exactly what they wanted to see. AJ put Jake down in the 6th round with a devastating right hand. The damage was serious. Jake's jaw is broken in 2 places. He posted the x-ray himself showing both fractures. But here's what made this night even crazier. Right after the knockout, Joshua grabbed the mic and went straight at Tyson Fury. He told Fury to put down his Twitter fingers, put on his gloves, and step in the ring if he's really a bad boy. Before we break all this down, let me give you some quick hits. Israel Adesanya said Islam Makhachev has one of the best feinting games in the UFC. Izzy was really impressed watching Islam against JDM, saying Islam was feinting like 12 times before even throwing a jab. That's later in the fight too, which shows how sharp Islam's mind stays even when he's tired. This is how he explained it.
Who in the UFC or other promotions does this the best current time?
In the UFC, you look at Islam versus JDM, I was very impressed with Islam's feinting. There was one point, because I always say I overfeint, but that's good because they never know when it's coming. But Islam did that in his last fight with JDM. There was points he just was feinting like 12 times before he even threw a jab. This is later in the fight as well, so I was really impressed with that.
Alex Pereira knocked out his own son. Well, not really, but there's a video of them having a pillow fight in the living room, and Alex hits the kid with his signature left hook. The kid goes flying backward onto the floor like he just got sparked. It's actually hilarious. GSP was asked about Islam Makhachev and whether anyone can actually beat him. Jorge had an interesting take on this. He thinks people misunderstand how fights work. Here's what he said.
To beat Islam Makhachev, it doesn't mean, it's not because you're the best that you're not gonna lose. It's not the best fighter that wins the fight. It's not the best team that wins the game. It's the team that played the best the night of the game. Same thing in fighting. People for some reason believe that fighting is different. Always the strongest man that wins. Not true. If you zig when you should have zagged, you make a mistake, boom,
Cut.
you're cut. By the way, it happened to Islam Makhachev. If you saw his loss, he got cut. Yeah, it could happen again.
So GSP's point is simple. Islam's the best pound-for-pound fighter right now, but that doesn't make him unbeatable. He got caught once against Adriano Martins, and on the right night, it could happen again. Paddy Pimblett went nuclear on Arman Tsarukyan. He said Arman's boring, nobody wants to see him fight, and that it's his family's fault for raising him as a spoiled rich kid. Here's how he put it.
I mean, I don't expect you to have any sympathy for Arman Tsarukyan, but were you surprised that you could make this interim title without him in it?
No, he's bored. Don't really know anyone who wants to see Arman Tsarukyan fight. I listed so many reasons why he hasn't got this title shot in an interview the other week. Pulled out on a day's notice when he said he had a bad back when he never. He just couldn't make weight, ruined the main event. Punched the fan walking out of the cage. Probably cost the UFC a lot more money. Nearly ruined another main event for the first fight in Qatar by headbutting Dan Hooker. Just don't be a little spoiled brat and you might end up getting in good graces. It's his own fault, lad. It's his own family's fault for letting him be a spoiled little baby his whole life, lad, because he's got money. You know what I mean? He thinks that he can just pay his way out of anything. Nah, lad, you got told you've got to work your way back to the title. And beating Dan Hooker, who can't grapple to save his life, doesn't do that. But it is funny because he's left out in the cold now because Charles is fighting Max and I'm fighting Justin. And the next person down the rankings is Dan Hooker, who he's just beat. You know what I mean? He's going to have to rematch Gamrot or something and try and beat Gamrot. For now, nobody gives a flying about Arman Tsarukyan. It's not my fault. Arman Tsarukyan's an absolute sausage.
It's not.
It's not my fault he can't control his emotions and start headbutting people at weigh-ins and pulling out the night before fights and hitting fans when he's walking out. And he knows why he's not fighting for the belt. He needs to stop about it. And the UFC is not a place. So, he's lucky he hasn't been cut. Never mind he's not fighting for the belt. He's lucky he's still on the roster.
And Paddy Pimblett says he's going to retire Justin Gaethje. Paddy thinks Justin could be on the verge of retiring anyway, and when Paddy beats him, Gaethje's not getting another title shot. He called Justin an absolute legend of the sport and said it's an honor to fight him. But he feels bad saying it because he genuinely thinks this is the end for Gaethje. After losing to Paddy, there's nowhere left for Justin to go. If you're enjoying this, hit that like button real quick. Dana White talked about why you have to make big fights when the moment's right. Speaking to Dale Brisby, he explained, when things line up to make a big fight, you have to make that fight right then and there because you'll never have that opportunity again. When your product is human beings, people get older. They might not be in their prime anymore. Injuries, personal problems, the list goes on. Dana White also talked about his relationship with Merab Dvalishvili. They had a rocky start, but Dana's got nothing but love and respect for Merab these days. Merab wanted to break the record and fight 4 times this year, and Dana respects that kind of mentality. This is what he said.
Merab, Yes.
Merab wanted to break the record and fight 4 times this year. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And me and Merab had a rocky start with our relationship, but I have nothing but love and respect for that guy now.
It seemed like he reciprocated, judging by his posture at the end of the fight.
Yeah. No, he is.
Seems like he loves you too.
He is a bad dude.
And Dana also dropped some crazy AI numbers. He's on the board at Meta, and he just got back from a meeting with Zuckerberg. He said they just hired 10 people aged 22 to 28 to work on AI, and the average salary is $65 million. $65 million. Listen to this.
And now AI. Have you got into AI yet?
We're dabbling.
Okay.
I'm trying. Yes, sir.
So Meta AI, I'm on the board for Meta. I just got back from the Meta board meeting. Zuckerberg, who is a brilliant gangster, this guy is a gangster. These people who try to talk about him and everything else. I'm so blown away and impressed by this guy. He's an animal. And putting all the chips in on AI. We just hired like 10 kids that are aged 22 to 28. The average salary is like $65 million that these kids are making that are coming in working on AI. But AI, you hear a lot of negativity about AI. There's way more positives about AI than negative.
Alexandre Pantoja's coach gave an update on his injury from the Joshua Van fight. It wasn't his shoulder, it was his elbow that popped out. And here's the crazy part. Pantoja put it back in himself during the fight. He didn't show any pain because he didn't want the ref to stop it, but it kept slipping out, so he had to fight holding that arm carefully. The x-ray showed no broken bones. They're waiting on the MRI to see if he tore anything that needs surgery. If everything's clean, he should be back by late May or June. DC says if Alex Pereira is out of the White House card, that essentially means John Jones is out too. Cormier doesn't think Jones actually wants to fight Tom Aspinall, and with Pereira pulling out, there's no American star at the headline.
But we need American guys on that fight card if that's what we're doing. And Pereira, to say he's out, that essentially means that John Jones is out. Because I just don't know that Jones still wants to fight Tom Aspinall. I still don't. I don't believe that that's what he wants to do. And then Tom Aspinall said that he's having surgery because Tsarukyan poked him in the eyes.
Kayla Harrison told a story about Dana White discussing the UFC's current value. Someone asked Dana what he thinks the UFC is worth now, and Dana said it's estimated around $23 billion. That's how much the company has grown since the Fertitta brothers sold it for $4 billion back in 2016. Kayla also revealed she was eating 1,200 calories a day in camp for the Amanda Nunes fight. She said she trains like she's running a marathon, 6 miles every day, 8 miles on Sunday. The total cost to watch every UFC event on Paramount next year is just $60. That's less than one PPV on ESPN, which costs $80. For $60, you get all 13 numbered events, 30 fight nights, the new Contender Series season, the new Ultimate Fighter season, and the entire UFC archive. Jorge Masvidal backed Arman Tsarukyan and said he deserves a title shot. Gamebred sees both sides. He gets that Dana's mad at Arman and wants to punish him, but he pointed out that Conor McGregor has pulled out like 5 or 6 times, and Dana's still talking about having him at the White House. Jorge thinks Arman should be way ahead of Gaethje and Pimblett in line. Jorge also reacted to Ian Garry calling Kamaru Usman a has-been. Masvidal said it's crazy that Ian's calling Usman irrelevant when all Ian did was beat Bilal Muhammad with 2 eye pokes. Jorge said he never thought he'd be advocating for Usman, but he still sees Usman beating the crap out of Ian Garry. Sean Strickland and Rampage Jackson sat down together for the first time, and Rampage told Sean about his biggest payday ever. The Chuck Liddell fight paid him $7 million. Sean was blown away. Rampage explained the whole situation. Back when he left Pride, he signed with a smaller promotion called WFA. His manager was running the show, so he hooked Rampage up with a crazy pay-per-view deal. Nobody thought it mattered because WFA was small. Then Dana White came in and bought the entire promotion. Dana had to honor every contract, including Rampage's insane pay-per-view points. That's how Rampage made $7 million off one fight. Sean told him that was a once-in-a-lifetime situation. Anthony Joshua gave Jake Paul credit after the fight. AJ said he wished he could have knocked Jake out in the first round, but he admitted Jake has spirit and heart. A lot of fighters won't even get in the ring with Joshua, but Jake did, and even when he got knocked down, he kept trying to get up. Joshua said he takes his hat off to Jake for that. Anderson Silva just turned 50 years old, and last night he knocked out Tyron Woodley in the second round. This wasn't some sloppy old man fight. Silva looked sharp. The first round was cautious, both guys feeling each other out. But round 2 was when Anderson turned on the magic. He did this Roy Jones Jr. tribute where he tapped his right foot with his glove. He feinted a left cross. Then he landed a perfect right uppercut that wobbled Woodley. 3 follow-up hooks sent Tyron face first to the canvas. The ref stopped it. It was the first knockout ever on a Netflix boxing main card. Then things got interesting. Silva put on a Spider-Man costume and grabbed the mic. He called out Chris Weidman. He said his venom is Chris Weidman and he's waiting for him. The history here runs deep. Weidman ended Silva's 16-fight UFC winning streak back in 2013. Then in their rematch, Silva broke his leg in one of the most horrific injuries ever. Weidman was supposed to fight Silva on this card but tore his bicep. After the call-out, Weidman accepted on social media. He said, "Your venom is here, I'll see you soon." At 50 years old, Silva is still knocking people out and calling out old rivals. So that's where we're at. Jake Paul got his jaw broken in 2 places by Anthony Joshua, and now AJ's calling out Tyson Fury for September 2026. That's the biggest British heavyweight fight in years, if it happens. Anderson Silva just knocked out Tyron Woodley at 50 years old and wants Chris Weidman next for a trilogy that nobody saw coming. Paddy Pimblett thinks he's retiring Justin Gaethje. Jorge Masvidal's backing Arman Tsarukyan for a title shot. And Dana White just revealed Meta is paying kids $65 million to work on AI. The combat sports world is absolutely insane right now. Here's my question for you. Does Jake Paul deserve respect for stepping in there with Anthony Joshua, or did he just prove he's way out of his depth against real boxers? And do you actually want to see Anderson Silva fight Chris Weidman again in a boxing ring? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I want to hear what you think about all this. If you made it this far, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss anything. We've got a lot more coming. I'll see you in the next one.